Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's the conclusion. It's the conclusion of today's episode. Today's the 20th episode of the show that we're doing, which is called Roll20 Presents Tomb of Annihilation, which is the name of the adventure, and also could be a place. Let's go there. But let's start.
It sounds bad.
I'm not really sure I want to go to the place named Annihilation.
Let's go to someplace fun, like the chasm of maniacal laughter.
Yeah, let's go to Ataz Muhaha. So, I guess knowing that Ataz Muhaha is nearby, would you press on into the darkness, or would you rest? And do we get Ataz Muhaha in the morning? What do you think?
So this was at the end of the day that we found?
Yeah, the grung effigies.
Let's get a view in the morning.
Yeah, let's see what it looks like during the day.
Able to see much of the gorge.
I don't have dark vision.
Okay, everybody eats fish provided by Arcturus.
Yeah. And I think it goes bad after today, right?
Yes, yeah. So check out that last one. The rain kicks up again, so it's just one day of sunny, awful weather. And the next day we visit Ataz Muhaha. So I think I actually have a handout to show you. Let me do a quick check on the old Muhaha here.
The whole Muhaha.
These are all monsters.
Full of laughing cows. Muhaha.
Let's see.
Do you have the laughing cow cheese?
Yes.
Over there?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
It's a Canadian product, I believe.
So I have a map that I can put you on. That's what it is. I have a map layer. So kind of like Firefinger. So let's find Ataz Muhaha. I'll bring us all over here. And I will grab your tokens. So
Darkness.
chat. Yeah, you don't have your tokens on here. Chat, this is Ataz Muhaha. I will draw your attention to the upper right corner where we can see it from the side. Players, let me grab your sight objects and I will bring them over.
Don't grab my eyes, Adam.
I mean, I couldn't grab them without grabbing the rest of your face, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, here we go. There you go. So y'all are in the little box now that in the top corner. I'll drag you up there. There you go. And now you can see Ataz Muhaha. And as with many of these objects, let me read to you what you see.
Does it have the dinosaur? Do we see a dinosaur?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Why not? There's a yeah. So as you can see, the laughing gorge of Ataz Muhaha is very deep at this point. The gorge plunges down at an almost vertical pitch. You are approaching from the east, so you can see that at the end of the bridge there is a pile of rubble. But what really gives you the feel for the place is unsettling noise. As you approach it, you hear the chattering and shrieking of probably like 100 or more monkeys. Clinging to the surface of the bridge, hanging from it, nesting in the ferns that grow from its surface, and they live amongst the carved monkeys that sit atop the bridge and hang from its undersides. So you can hear them. And they are all like shrieking and chattering. And as you approach, you find out why the Laughing Gorge is called the Laughing Gorge. Overlapping echoes of the monkeys start to rumble by the acoustics of the place until you hear a cacophony of what sounds like a single loud entity laughing. The sound of haughty, gloating laughter. This noise seems to startle the monkeys, who fall into silence. The echoes fade, and as soon as it gets quiet, the monkeys start laughing again and chattering and shrieking at each other. So it's horrendously loud, and it's echoing off all the walls. And as you approach it, you can actually see that there is a gap. I'll bring you down onto the bridge. Bloop.
So are we approaching the bridge from above or from below?
You're above it. You're coming. You
Okay,
came
yeah,
up
we're
the hill
coming, yeah.
now, so you're all approaching the bridge this way, and you can see there's a massive statue with its back to you in the middle of the bridge. There's also a gap of about 20 feet that you will have to leap across or find some way, because if you
Well, we don't actually have to though, because we're on the correct side of the gorge for where we want to go.
I mean, yeah, if you want to examine the statue, I mean,
Right.
Yeah, to like check out this cool statue or do anything else with this.
yeah, you'll have to find a way across the gap, because it is. I know that looking at it from above, it looks like it's just some rubble on the ground, but this little area
It's
here,
like 100-foot drop.
yeah, this
or
little area here is a 100-foot drop. So coming up to the edge and peering over, you see a shattered remnant of bridge 100 feet down, and yeah, there's a big old like a Patasaurus or a Diplodocus or something, like drinking from the river and looking around, and the monkeys, some of their monkeys on its back, cackling at each other and running around. And I think there's a couple of them that probably are like watching you from the edge.
Yeah,
of
from
the,
on the bridge.
yeah. So let's put them in.
Little Fox like reaches around in her bag and finds something that she can ball up and put in her ears to not get like deafened by the super loud noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's like monkeys all over the place as you walk up.
All right. Well, we've seen the bridge. We've seen the and we should go now.
And honestly, you have to like shout at each other over the sound of the cackling of these
I think
apes.
probably we should leave. Right?
I
Well-
really hate monkeys.
Well, and like Arcturus isn't really yelling loud enough for anyone to hear him, but he like says Malik's usually the one that wants to investigate statues. So if Malik
Yeah,
is-
Malik, you.
go, then-
I mean, you know, archaeologically, the bridge is pretty interesting,
but monkeys.
but there are
I-
monkeys all over it.
If you can scare the monkeys away, I want to go and look at the statue, but I don't want the monkeys to be there. Little Fox, can you scare them away?
Oh, you want the monkeys to go away? Okay.
I short bow a monkey.
You're just gonna shoot at a random monkey? Okay, yeah, make an attack roll. Which monkey? One of the ones on the bridge, or one of the ones closest
No,
to
the
you?
one like closest to me.
Okay.
Anytime monkeys come up, my mind goes to the scene from the
14?
Pink Panther.
I mean, technically they're baboons, but yeah,
These are chimpanzee monkeys.
these aren't chimps. These are baboons. So you got
14?
the like, but
They're
yes, yeah, you hit.
large monkeys.
7 damage.
Okay. You kill it.
Oh my
You
god!
just thump, and it just it falls out of the tree and then thunk onto the ground.
Little Fox like wheels around and looks very angry and just like grabs your hands.
So when you lunge forward and you grab her, you hear the baboons all start to like and like shriek, and they're cackling and they're laughing as become angry, and they're all around you and they're yelling at you, Ishi, and Little Fox is like got all these monkeys looming in the background. What happens? What do you do?
Yeah,
I run
she's
away.
real mad.
I run away.
Malik just runs and flees. What about everybody else? Are you all just gonna run?
I mean, Malik's the one that wanted to look at the statue. I guess I hear the monkeys. I see Ishi, and I'm just like, oh gosh.
I didn't,
And,
think
like,
I didn't think that would kill the monkey much.
And so they're
and then,
they're
like,
starting.
I have
they're-
my shield out and my like hammer in my hand, and then I see Malik like turn and run. I'm like, oh, so we're not going for the statue. And
yeah,
like,
and like I think we're seeing them like jump across the bridge and like climb up.
Okay, well,
And
Yeah.
like they're baring their teeth and like getting up and like waving their arms.
Little Fox, are we? Do you?
Malik's like halfway down the road already.
Yeah, Little Fox like has Ishi's arms in her hand and she just like shakes her head, like frowns at you disappointingly and says, "Go away." and then like turns around to talk to the monkeys.
Okay. Are Arcturus and Isha, are you gonna leave Little Fox here to the monkeys?
I will leave, but not far enough to be out of sight. Because if she gets overwhelmed by monkeys, I'm gonna be like.
I think
Really
it's just like I have shield and hammer out, and I'm like I walk backwards a little bit, like keeping an eye on like.
So the monkeys don't really seem to be paying attention to you, Little Fox. Like if Ishi starts to leave, they're gonna like jump down and try to like block your path.
Oh, okay.
Malik and Arcturus, you can like dash off.
No, I'm
problem.
not dashing. I was just like backing away slowly.
So you let yourself get circled in by baboons?
I guess so. Yes.
Like you have the
There's
option
so
not
many
to.
baboons.
Yeah, they're just like appearing.
Control V with reckless abandon. Control V. Control V.
I know that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, Adam, that folks can keep running
Except Ishi.
except
me.
Ishi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all those baboons I pasted in. Here they are. All right.
So I try to leave. I can't. And
I guess
my
okay. So
immediate next-
Arcturus, do you get away? Are you? have you
No,
left?
no,
Okay,
no.
so you end up
I'm-
caught in here. Okay. This is accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your movement? Your movement rate's 30, right, Malik?
Yes.
Okay. So I figure you're 120 feet. I'm gonna just put it in the red box. You're 120 feet
Yeah,
down the path
That's
that
fine.
way.
Yeah, I just run away.
Yeah,
He gets freaked out.
fled. Okay. All right. So for the rest of you, surrounded by shrieking monkeys. And these are baboons. They got the big scary teeth too.
I mean, I don't see another option but to keep stabbing monkeys personally.
So little fox just like is like, just be quiet, and she turns around
Mm-hmm.
and like puts out her hands and starts talking to the nearest monkey.
Okay.
And her voice, like she's big, so her voice is like quite low and can cut under
Mhm.
the shrieking.
Well, I mean, you try, right? Like you start, if you're speaking at normal volume, as soon as you open your mouth to talk, they just shriek louder altogether to try to shut you up, right? To be like, no, we're in charge. We're like you're in our turf now, and so they're just trying to overpower you with numbers.
And then I'm going to roar like way the fuck louder than them, because they're like talking over me and interrupting, and so I yell at them to be quiet.
Okay, all right.
In Sylvan, in the same like language that she always uses to talk to animals.
Mhm.
And so they can understand me
Okay,
when I tell them to be quiet
okay.
in my loudest and most commanding voice possible.
All right, we'll make an intimidation check. I'm gonna say probably the difficulty here. Let's see. What is the baboon's will? It's gonna be like an ob 6 intimidation check.
What?
So there's a lot of them, right? So they obviously, I think you have disadvantage.
Okay,
and
so my feature gives me advantage, so it's just going to be a
it's
straight.
a straight check. And that's on intimidation too.
Yeah,
Okay. And I think the difficulties
it's on any charisma check to do
Okay.
with
and and charisma and intimidation are the pair.
are connected. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right, and I will say the difficulty to intimidate a pack of baboons. Let's call it like 14. I think 14 seems reasonable.
good luck to me.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, they're not having it. Roll initiative.
Okay.
So you roar, and then a monkey like throws a rock at you, and then the other monkeys just like come like flying forward in a berserker ape rage.
Okay.
So
Is
let
it
me.
fair for me to be raging at the start of this fight, Adam?
No, because there's a feature for that.
I guess that's
there's
true.
a later level feature, so you can't.
Well,
I can't just.
I
give
hope
that
you
to
roll less than a 14 for initiative.
Okay. Baboonsk. So I mean they're pretty fast, but they're just baboons.
I mean, and they're gonna probably pile on Ishi first and foremost.
I killed one with a 7. I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
I mean, the issue is they still get to roll d20s.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I
you
know.
still
Chaos plateau.
I
an
know.
amount of damage.
All right.
So if there are enough of them, if there's like infinite
So
monkeys.
So Malik.
Scatter though.
So Malik, you are running. You've been running for several turns. You hear the shrieking. You hear the roar, which I think is probably what stops you at least for a second. What do you do? What do you do? You're first to go.
I turn and like look round, and I'm like, oh my god, they're not following me. They're gonna do something stupid. And he like turns back around, and he's like, because he's like clearly like he's scared of these things.
Uh-huh. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. I'm really curious to see what you decide. Yeah. Would you want the template just in case?
I knew this was
Here,
coming.
here you go.
I could kill so many.
Like one of those right here, somewhere. In that
I mean,
area.
the great thing about this is if you fireball us, I lose like all the blame. Like,
Adam, I think it's slightly smaller than it's meant to be. Is it a 20-foot radius?
Yeah,
or-
should it be one more?
yeah.
I don't know if it's.
I'll measure across. That was it. It was
Okay, it is good. It's on the grid.
Yeah.
I'm just measuring wrong. Okay, great, cool.
Okay.
That's the actual
Yeah.
coverage.
Okay,
for the
perfect,
fireball.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. I like go to shout back. I'm like, what should I do? And they're like, they can't hear me because
Mhm.
way too
Can't hear
loud.
you.
I'm just like, good. Everyone wants me to do this so much.
I mean, you could choose not to. You will hit
Yo.
you'll hit all three of your
Here's
friends.
here's
you
what
could
I'll
push
say.
it back. You could push it back one square, not hit
Yeah.
Arcturus. And
Don't hit Arcturus with it.
Me and Little Fox will be fine.
Yeah, hit everyone else. That's okay. I mean,
All right. Here we go. We're using
Little
a
Fox is going to be so pissed after this fight. It's going to be legendary.
oh. Okay. Right, and I look on myself and I see like the patch of like purple scales, and I like rub it, I guess,
Mhm.
really quickly.
Oh, nice. I know what you're doing.
So I cast careful spell on
Oh,
Fireball.
nice.
So you hear Ishi, Little Fox, Arcturus. You hear the hissing sound that you have now known presages the explosion of a fireball, and then there is the explosion. There's sudden light and heat that passes over you, but you stand in a bubble where the fire like goes around you.
It still hurts them.
It still hurts us, but we automatically succeed. at
Exactly,
the-
yeah. So your clothes and your skin are being like licked at by fire, but it doesn't hurt quite so bad as it would. The baboons, however, are not so fortunate.
Do you need me to
Yeah,
roll
please,
damage?
please
Well,
do.
'cause the damage hurts
Yeah,
us.
we need to know about what damage you do them.
All
You actually
I'll
wanna
try
roll
that
low.
again, but we'll see.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
roll
not
at least a
bad.
14. Okay,
It's a weak one.
yeah.
Okay.
Your heart wasn't quite in it.
Okay. So saving throws from the two of you, please.
Or-
They automatically succeed.
Oh,
Is
that's
the-
how it works. Okay.
Yeah, we
We
auto
take
All right. So you take 9. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's half. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna bother saving for the baboons because they have 3 hit points. So
Oh my god, I could have just used magic missile and like killed one and scared it off.
they all just
Yeah,
turn.
Except that
We saw what killing one did,
I just
dude.
killed one. It didn't scare it off. Yeah.
Okay, so the area is suddenly full of
This is like horrific. It's so
the smell of crispy
not-
baboon as these apes are.
Holy crap.
Damn you! You blew it up, you bastards! Damn you! Damn you! All the hell! And yeah, just
every APCs from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
you see a bunch of smoldering monkey corpses laying all over the ground, just on fire, just burning monkey bodies.
And Malik just like he's like, oh god, what have I done?
The rest of the baboons flee in terror. Malik or Arcturus, if you'd like to make an attack of opportunity on that baboon, you certainly
No,
can.
no.
But
I'm also in terror.
The shrieks go from shrieks of rage to like, and like one of them's on fire, and he like runs off on fire, and like tumbles down into the gorge. It's a whole thing. And then the fight's over because the rest of the monkeys like flee to the other end of the bridge, and the chuckling and laughing and like the noise becomes one of panic, and so all the baboons that were on this side of the bridge swing along the underside of the bridge to the other side and are like clustering over there, staying well away from whatever just happened.
Jesus Christ.
Fight's over. Good work.
Holy fuck.
And Little Fox just like wheels on everyone. She's crying. She has like these huge furball tears.
Yeah.
And she's just yelling like, "You said talk. You said don't kill." And like she cannot process why like we had that whole conversation about how we were going to talk to people, and then like both Ishi and Malik just like murdered things, and they were the ones telling her not to murder things. And so she just like throws a tantrum yelling at you guys because like it doesn't make sense to her, and she's really sad. And she probably like takes an ineffectual swing at Ishi, like almost punches you, like, and is like shouting at Malik down the way.
Ishi
Yeah,
like
she's like really upset.
She like looks really contrite. She realizes like after that she's made a horrible mistake. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's like in the moment she didn't even think about it, but like looking back she realizes that she fucked up. So it is one of those things where it's like, yeah, I deserve this, you know, like while you're yelling at her. She got her hat in her hand, you know, like looking all sad. I can just
Even the monkey looks sad. Look at this sad.
I had to share it with you.
It's awful. I feel really bad, but at the same time,
I fucking can't with you people.
Look
So
at his judgmental face. To be haunted by the ghost of this baboon forever. Why did you do this to me? Why?
and her like fit of anger just ends with her like sitting down, hugging her knees to her chest, and like crying because you killed all these nice little things. I'm okay, come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, Little Fox just like is really sad and angry and is like sobbing into her knees and the roadway.
Yeah, being an adventurer is confusing.
What do you do? Let me just GM this game for a second. You have made your friend very sad. What do you do?
I apologize for. There's an apology.
I mean, Ishi's good. If Ishi is good at one thing besides sword fighting,
I think Ishi's approach here is to like grovel, cower, and beg. Basically, like she does the kobold thing of like, I made a mistake. I'm so sorry, Little Fox. Do you ever forgive me? But it's like legitimate. She's not like faking it. You know what I mean? Like,
and there's like partway through where one of her arms just reaches out and like grabs you, and she just like holds you like you're a stuffed animal, and is just like crying and hugging you, and is just upset.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. We were trying to get across the bridge and I didn't think about it.
You know, like, that kind of shit.
So Malik, you approach, and I think Arcturus, because Little Fox and Ishi are having this moment, you approach, and Arcturus would be the first person you'd run into. What is Arcturus doing when Malik walks up?
I think that, like, Malik, you look like the thing you were saying, like, I've made a horrible mistake sort of thing, right?
Yeah, he says, like, what have I done?
I think that Arcturus would just be like, and then, like, point to Little Fox and just be like, it's not the time. Little Fox will go into a rage and, like, smash you. Just, like, don't.
Yeah, and he kind of just says, like, just quietly, he's like, I agreed to follow the lead of the first person to act. Ugh. They're throwing rocks, and yeah, I'll let her calm down first.
I tried to get the monkeys out of the way, Malik. I'm sorry. You said something about moving the monkeys.
The Laughing Gorge Turns out its name was ironic.
This is the crying gorge.
Yeah, we have to rename it Ataz Boohoo.
Okay, anyway, yeah, I think that fuck this gorge and the statue. There's no way I
The
would.
real question, Adam, is how much XP do monkeys give us?
All those monkeys, because I calculated it. Let me get my calculator here.
Jesus fucking Christ.
All those monkeys are worth, let's see.
Give you like 20.
You get 45 experience each for the monkeys.
Yes.
Nice.
Jesus.
Worth it.
Was it worth it?
Yes.
Was it though?
Yes.
45 experience points worth of regret. That was the experience that we
And
had.
so, like, I assume the party, like, we, like, are all,
Mhm.
like, we gather up. Little Fox finally is done crying and, like, stands and, like, does the, like, you know, wipe your face thing. And her eyes are all red. And she just points at the statue
Mhm.
and looks at Malik and just, like, insistently points at the statue and says, go to the statue. Look at it. And then, like, indicates all the dead things and is just like, they're all dead. Make it mean something. Go look at it.
Okay. Yeah, so he walks over to the edge and like looks at the rest of them and okay, I'll be right back. And he misty steps across.
Okay. Cool. So on this side of the bridge, you can see much closer the statues of these monkeys. They've weathered over time, right? They've been sitting out here in the rain for generations, so they're quite worn down. But you can still make out the shape. They're obviously still like monkeys, and they're just like crouching on their little platforms, looking at you. Normally there'd be baboons among them, but you frighten them all off to the other side of the bridge, and they're making just like nervous monkey sounds from over there, just like kind of like ooh, 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 like something bad gonna happen. They're getting ready to run as you approach. I think some of them like scamper away, and you see the statues here. You notice too that there are symbols of mazes carved prominently onto the surface of the bridge. They kind of interlink. And on the supports as well, you can see there are these maze carvings. And so yeah, you get closer to the statue, and in the center of the bridge, as you reach the midpoint, so you're sort of the highest over the gorge. And I think from here, even through the rain, you can see maybe like a I don't know what they'd be called, a flock of like pterodactyls, basically pterodons, kind of like soaring by in the distance, closer to the ocean. And you approach this stone statue. The statue sits at the midpoint of the bridge and consists of an imposing stone, like probably twice normal size, human, like Chultan warrior, wearing a war mask. He's hunkered down like a panther, ready to pounce. He's facing away from you right now. And like the monkeys, the carving is highly stylized. So like we were talking about before, you know how like the analogy here was like you were talking about before the portrayal of the monster hunter monsters in the booklet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It's like a person very like clearly carved this way. It has some similarity. It belongs to a different era, but similarity to the carving of the crocodile on the man's back. In its eyes, as you walk around to the other side, in the statue's eyes of the mask, there are two bright gems that glitter and flash even in the dim light from the rain. Lying near the feet of the skeleton, or of the statue, is a skeleton, a human skeleton, and you can see really clearly that several of its bones are shattered, like broken. But it's impossible to tell whether the injuries happened while the person was alive or were caused by scavengers after death. Like if the monkeys like broke the bones to get at the marrow or whatever. And then yeah, sitting at its feet is another one of those carvings of a labyrinth, big labyrinth carving at the bottom of the statue.
Okay. Well. I make notes about it. I write a bunch of stuff. But how would he think about this? I don't think he wants to take the gems because they're where they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not about just like pillaging things for the sake of it.
Yeah.
It's when things are lost, he likes to return them, but they are where they're meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
You had a bunch of archaeologist questions, right, Dave?
Pardon, sir?
You have all your archaeologist questions that you get to ask for free or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's when we come into a ruin, and this I'm not sure this is relevant. I'll paste it. But...
Yeah, I don't know. Like Adam,
the funny thing is, like, yes, it's a ruin, but its original purpose is to cross the gorge.
Like, it's just really obvious. It was made by the Chultans.
Yeah,
and is a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose I'd know how much the statue's worth.
Like,
or the gems.
Yeah, you can determine the monetary value of art objects more than the century old. I don't know, lots, but it's huge and heavy. So like,
right.
Thousands of gold probably. But again,
if you could take this whole bridge and move it somewhere else.
Historical knowledge as a background is interesting because it demands that the GM give you a number, one single number, but it's like this would be different value depending on the market and like who's buying it and where it would be kept and like a private buyer versus a museum. Like,
but something to the order of several thousand gold.
Yeah, totally. As a historical object, it's just made out of stone.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Parts of it are covered in like lichen, like the labyrinth is partially covered with it, and like up part of its body, there's like moss that's grown. And you see that on the bridge too.
I'd like to clear away some of the lichen and get a let's see, what have I got? Got any charcoal? I got some charcoal.
Like
perfect. Yeah, I'd like to make a rubbing of the like labyrinth inscription.
Okay. Yeah. So you can scrape away the lichen with your knife.
Yeah. I'll just make a little rubbing, just paste the paper over it and just black chalk over the top.
Sure.
Is this panther warrior figure a like known historical or like mythological person?
Someone can make a religion check. Someone who's actually looking at it, right? Like,
I guess, yeah. Like,
you're
I'm
too far to have any. Like, he just says it's a panther guy, but it's not. He's crouching like a panther. He's wearing a non-animistic like war mask.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can I long jump 20 feet?
Does
anyone remember what the rules for long jump are?
Cool, right?
My strength is 18.
You could probably just about do it.
Just about is a dangerous thing to say when you're jumping.
And then land 100 feet down.
Because it really is like
you run 10 feet and then you can jump your strength score.
Yeah, so I would be 2 feet short. It would be the thing where you're like just
and then
shy.
Bang! You'd hit the thing and fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Little Fox also wants to apologize to the monkeys, so I'm gonna try to like throw a loop of rope over this statue.
Okay. I mean, Malik could tie it to the statue if you throw it.
Or Malik's over there, yeah. Do we just want to like take some time to get everyone across using a rope?
Yeah, we can do.
Why?
Well, at the very least, Little Fox wants to go apologize to the monkeys because it's important to her.
Yeah, if you motion that you want me to come over and help.
Yeah, it's not something we need to dwell on super hard, but yeah.
No. It should be fine with rope to make sure that you get the extra bits on the jump. And I've got a bunch.
Well, hold on. Don't go moving your token yet. So Malik, you're gonna go back and you want to tie the rope to this monkey?
Yeah, we'll try to tie it to one of the statues or something as an anchor, and then.
Okay, so Malik, you get to about there, and you actually it's here. You start passing the statue.
Shit!
The statue begins to come to life. As you walk by the statue without doing whatever it is that it was set to protect, you have upset it, and you hear a rumbling as it like stands up and starts to turn towards you. and the animated statue looks pissed.
Oh. Does it make a surprise attack or?
Oh,
So yeah, we'll handle all of this, but
next
rather than get into a big fight with a statue, let's cliffhanger it right here. So that's what we see, right? Is that Malik, you turn and the thing is like standing up and like unfolding its arms, and everyone else on the other side of the bridge, you can see this stone statue turning and like reaching for Malik, and we'll find out what happens next
I love that
time.
the statue isn't like, whoa, hold up there, friend. You gotta do. It's just like, I murder you now. It's like very all or nothing.
Yeah, totally. What happened to my favorite baboons? He's pissed. He's pissed about what happened with the monkeys. So so we'll cliffhanger that for next time, and we'll find out the nature of the stone golem situation when we come back next time. In the interim, let's do some shout outs. Distracted Elf, aka Ishi Snaggletooth, aka that's not my real voice. Why don't you go first?
Hi, I'm Distracted Elf. You can follow me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or over on Twitter at Distracted Elf. Or pretty much anywhere else on the internet. Distracted Elf. It's me.
Excellent.
Okay, cool.
Thank you very much. The world's saddest / angriest furbolg, Andrew.
Is there a specific word for being both sad and angry at the same time? I wonder.
Probably. Like where you're so sad it makes you angry, or you're so angry it
So
makes you
angry
sad.
that you're sad.
Sangry.
Sangria, that's what it is. That must be it.
Does the sangria make me sad or angry too? One or the other. Drink enough of it. We'll go one direction.
You can find me on the internet in such places as @ComedianCrow on Twitter or twitch.tv/actualfactual. I designed a game called Girl by Moonlight about tragic magical girls. And I'm playing that on Actual Play. We did it last night. It's like every other Thursday. It was real good. Yeah, stuff like that.
Excellent. Thank you. Given Charlton Heston a run for his money, it's Malik Al-Gharib as played by Dave. Dave, where can people find you?
I don't know. In a cupboard somewhere, badly. I'm not happy about it.
Jane Goodall is very displeased.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yo, Jane's gonna be pissed.
Jane's gonna be real pissed.
Okay. Dave_him on Twitch and Dave_the_him on Twitter. Yeah, it's a really good session. Silliness, seriousness, silliness, seriousness. It was all over the place, but that's really cool sometimes.
Yeah, I'm digging it. Cool. Thank you, Dave. And last but not least, keeper of the tiny dog. It's Blue Jay. Blue Jay, where can people find you doing stuff on the internet?
On the internet, you can find me at twitch.tv/bluejay or on Twitter at bluejay_712 or on either Instagram or Patreon at bluejay712. Random assortments of numbers and underscores. You can find me running my first game, Dungeon World. Sorry, Adam Cobal's award-winning tabletop role-playing game, Dungeon World, featuring Sage Latora on the drums on Sunday, the 25th at 1 p.m. Pacific for some cool folks, including the man himself, Adam.
That's me. I'm that guy. You can find me doing that on Sunday. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. As mentioned, my name is Adam Coble. You can find me on Twitch under that name or on Twitter at Skinny Ghost. You can find back issues, episodes, shenanigans of this show by visiting our YouTube channel down below or popping over to twitch.tv/Roll20 app, which is where we do our Burning Wheel show as well. So definitely come and check that out if you have the time. Stick around because as I understand it, it is a significant episode for the Dragon Friends. We're actually giving them a couple of minutes to intro their show this time instead of just cutting it off at the last possible second. So Dragon Friends, good luck with your season finale. Have a good time. You will catch us in this space at this time the next time, and we can find out if I get to push Dave off a bridge. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you next time.